Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Bro You Haven't podcast. This week, it is our second Indie Game Book Club, and we have a very special guest for you, the one and only Brother Claydon, Mr. Samuel Claydon. So, tune in and listen to all our insatiable rambling about indie games with me, Adam Claydon, JJ Harding, and Joshua 8K. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Bro You Haven't podcast. Hello.
Hello.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. Funny you should say something Spanish. You'll find out why later.
Why is that funny?
For later.
Man, we are like 30 seconds in and JJ's racism is already showing.
The Inquisition was a long time ago, mate. My game is also Spanish, so...
You joking?
Nope.
Oh my god.
No estoy bromeando.
We.
How have we been, boys? Have we all good?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, yeah. I think I've broke a rib, but other than that, I'm...
Oh shit, are you okay?
I mean, I've just told you I think I've broke a rib, so clearly not okay, but... No, I'm joking. Yeah, I'm alive.
I am on the other end of COVID. I'm coming out of COVID.
How's your taste sensation?
It's still not great. But, yeah. The coughing fits are over. So there's light at the end of the tunnel.
The home straight.
The home
As
straight.
we like to call it. Yeah.
How about you, Adam? How about you?
Yeah, I'm good. What have we done? I've just been playing some games, teaching some kids,
Nice.
and hibernating from the world. That's about it.
More importantly, how are you, Samuel Claydon?
Yes, we have a guest. How about you?
I'm alright, not too bad. I'm very, very glad to be on. It's exciting.
We have
Baby
an
brother
amazing
Claydon
guest.
has come on the podcast because he's actually a video game man. We're just phonies.
Oh, so wait, Sam's your brother?
Yes, he is. I know.
Man, I just thought you looked really alike.
Oh god. Oh god. Who invited Auntie Shirley? But Jesus Christ.
Oh, how you have grown.
Oh, you look so
I
alike.
know, right? So Sam, you design video games, if I am correct in saying.
Yeah, I'm studying game art at Falmouth. It's good
Falmouth!
fun. It's good fun. I've made a few games so far.
Oh.
Yeah. Big up Cornwall.
What sort of stuff have you been working on so far?
I've made some games in the art style of Game Boy games. What else? I made a game where you played as an egg and you roll around a room.
Sounds like my life.
But the one at the moment I'm
Groundbreaking
working
stuff.
on, like a turkey on fire at the moment.
It seems to be a theme. Do you like
Poultry.
birds and eggs and...
It's not intentional. It just seems to happen.
It just seems to happen. So, like...
It's like food-related things. Is this some kind of like kink that you're not telling you? You just mute your mic for a second, Adam. Mute your earphones, Sam. It's okay. You can tell us. Do you have a food kink? Is this something that you need to work out through the medium of gaming?
Well, Adam doesn't know.
Exactly.
That must run in the family because Adam definitely has a food kink. I've seen him cooking. It's highly, highly erotic.
Every night watching Sausage Party, what can I do?
Is that before, after, or during you take your Zoom classes with children?
I have a very, very valid DBS check. And I'm a respected member of the teaching community.
So, Sam, when do you... what do you start with when you're, like, making these projects and stuff?
I normally just like I do lots of like really bad drawings, and they sort of just come into ideas of games.
Do you start from like a character thing, or do you prefer making like the characters for the games, or do you think, okay, the overall sort of arc of the game, this is where I want it to be, or do you just start from like little doodles, or how does it sort of, what's your process?
Basically, it's more or less just well, most of the time I'm with teams working on games, so I normally have a writer with me.
Right.
So I just do the art for games, but like I've done solo projects where I just sort of try and create like a story. I did one in the summer that was like 15 minutes worth of game, but
Oh shit.
yeah, it had like a full story.
Whoa.
You
Yeah.
can play that one on the internet, can't you?
You can, yeah.
Plug
it was
plug
basically about plug it. It's a little grim.
Plug it.
It's about you're basically a character who's dead, and you explore purgatory, and that's about it. But yeah, it's good fun.
So, Sam, if you could design your dream fucking game, you know what I mean, like in your head,
Oh yeah, legacy video game.
yeah, your legacy video game.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting that. What does that look like to you?
Oh, I don't know. It's gonna have to like. Growing up, I played Majora's Mask, and that was like the top game that I just love, the Zelda game. So like, if I could do something on the Zelda level or Mario level, that would be amazing.
Well, you said you're working with Game Boy like graphics at the moment, and for me, Minish Cap was an amazing one, and so was A Link to the Past.
Oh,
What do you reckon something like that would be like?
They are amazing.
They really are. Like if you were,
that would be insane to do that.
if you were to go, like
fun.
indie level and do a game similar to like A Link to the Past, that could be pretty sick.
Yeah, it's sort of like I'm at that stage because I'm. Ooh.
Josh, can you sit still? We can't hear anything what you're saying.
Me?
You're like.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, sorry, I don't know. It's because I'm wearing fucking clothes, man. Like, this is your fault.
It's like being in a cockroach orgy.
I asked him to put clothes on, and now we can't hear the recording.
This is why I always record naked, because my clothes rub on my mic.
Yeah. No interference if you're not wearing any clothes.
You know what? Hold on, I'll fix this.
He's taking it off. Whilst he's doing that, carry on with what we're talking about. There we go.
Look at his plumage. Look at that.
What's it? Oh yeah, what was I saying? So you got. I'm at that stage at uni, so I've got two choices to go to. I could go indie game development or, like environment art, like in an industry.
Yeah.
So I don't really know which one I'm gonna go for yet, but
Either one would be freaking awesome. Like, cause, like Star Wars Battlefront 2, the newest one. Some of the environment design in that is like incredible.
It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
We played it during lockdown 1, and it's
We
just
did, yeah. God, we
it's
played it a lot.
absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
The environment, sort of ground making and ground design. What's the quirkiest thing you've done? What's the weirdest thing that's come out of your brain that you've put on a bit of paper and then you've made into something?
I was going to say, be more specific within game design, not just in your life. What's the quickest within the
game
gaming?
design. Oh god. Probably like it must have been the one in lockdown. The lockdown 1. I made a game where you played as an egg of a phoenix and you just roll around a room and trying to get back to Stonehenge so you can hatch into a phoenix.
I love that.
This has got a story behind it. This game, because your brief was like come up with a game that has got something to do with a phoenix or like rebirth from an egg. So I said to him, why don't you make a skating game called Phoebe Nix Skating Tricks?
Nice.
Love it.
And he didn't go for it. He went for the egg. He went for the egg. It broke my
Phoebe
heart.
Nix skating tricks. Oh mate, that would have been.
We'll put that on the back burner. We'll go back to that later.
It's going to happen at some point.
Do you know what I think? There's a gap in the market, like a cooking mama type game, but that's endorsed by Gordon Ramsay and voice acted with him in it.
Oh yes.
That would be incredible.
There's such a gap in
That
the
sounds
market
amazing.
there. Make that happen.
It'd be so stressful to play. He'd just be shouting at you the whole time.
So, Gordon Ramsay's too busy doing TikToks now for some cringe-worthy reason.
Is he? How's he TikTok?
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, yeah,
He, like,
man.
replies to other people's TikToks of food.
Oh,
Other
yeah,
people
yeah,
will put
okay.
like food up, and he'll be like ranking it.
And they'll be calling
Like
them
the guy
donkeys.
who comments on how people make their fried rice. And
Yeah.
Okay, so this week we are doing our second indie game book club, the republishing.
Indie Game Book Club. This time it's personal.
Yeah. So, get out your occasional 5 notes on a piano and be prepared to look at something that's at 2 frames per second.
Me actually having to do research and doing it 2 days before we recorded.
Did you play the game?
Did you play the game?
For a little while.
Oh, for God's sake.
For those of you who remember, last time he played the game I Am Bread for approximately 5 minutes and then came and spoke about it for approximately 5 minutes.
Oh, nightmare.
Listen, we got an episode out of it.
We did.
I played I Am Bread last week and I understand why you only played 5 minutes of that game. It was
it's fucking hell.
Stressful.
It is a fucking hellscape.
If I were to start it, I would have to finish it, which is currently what I'm going through with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
So am I.
Yeah.
It's great fun.
Well, we'll talk about
about it next week.
We'll talk about that on Greek Week.
Greek Week.
Greek Week.
The Demon Spartan of Greek Week. I should have saved that for next week.
You should have. Have any of you guys noticed, in a lot of indie games, the music consists of, like, the same 5 notes on a piano played in different orders?
It's like 8-bit sort of like music.
No, not 8-bit music. It's literally like a piano. Like, if you played Untitled Goose Game, or Unfinished Swan, or Moonlighter, or... I'm just trying to think. Less so with something like Undertale. But yeah, but it's always
even
like...
Hollow Knight, would you say? They just use 5 notes?
Yeah, Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight as well, yeah.
That's a good game.
That's a great game.
Yeah, but they haven't always got enough money to hire a...
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Soundscape.
I ain't saying it's a bad thing. I'm saying it's good. I like it, if anything.
The only point of like music within games is like that kind of thing of helping them you to emote with it and like, you know, they empathize with what's happening and make you feel a certain way. So if you can achieve that with only like 5 notes in a piano, then fair game, man. I fucking couldn't do that shit.
Yeah, I love it. I do like it. I'm just saying, has anyone noticed? I guess we have.
Yes, I have noticed. So our thing is to do with this isn't really indie games, but going off of that, what was it? It's like a Nintendo thing where they've been using like the same song recycled in like all of their games. I can't remember. It's like one sequence, and it pops up in the new Animal Crossing. It's like one sequence of tune.
Yeah.
Do they reuse it throughout all of them?
I think so. I can't remember. JJ, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
you look like you know what I'm
the
talking
music
about.
designer for Animal Crossing is quite like a quirky guy, and he always fits in this really strange music into all of his games. It's in Pikmin as well, isn't it? Because he did the sound design for that.
Yeah.
Is it almost like in a horror film they've always got to have that scream, that same scream, or in a Disney film they've always got to have that same dancing motif with the princesses?
Oh yeah.
So it was like maybe it's like an homage to like the formatting.
It's the guy. It's the guy KK Slider is based off, because he's like this he's this Japanese guy and he's got really thick eyebrows. KK Slider is based off a real guy. It's really fucking cool.
Like Snorlax is based off a real guy as well.
What?
Yeah, he was the designer.
He's basically just drew himself.
Oh my god!
Imagine that being your fucking legacy, that you look like Snorlax.
I mean, fair play. He's probably like a massive sumo guy, so
yeah, he's probably
like sumo wrestlers. They've got. I was watching a video about sumo wrestlers, and they eat like 500 sushi a day.
Shit, was that the one, the Vice one, where it's the guy and he makes the big pot of fucking stew and he just has that in a day?
Probably. It's just
man, that's so many calories, man. He makes like basically every day like this. Like, imagine like a giant like restaurant sized like pot of soup that they make, and then they just like keep dishing that out. He makes one of them a like stew like every day with like big bits of lamb and stuff in it and chicken all through it, and then just eats that. Like that one bit, he makes it in the morning and he'll just eat that throughout the day.
He's got to maintain it though, hasn't he? These guys are superstars though. These sumo wrestlers, absolute
rock stars.
Do you guys want to know about Kazumi Totaka?
Fuck yeah!
Very good reading, first of all.
So he's the guy KK Slider's based off, and he does this song in all of his games.
Are you gonna sing the song?
No, I'm gonna play a bit.
No, sing it, please.
I don't know it.
Well, listen to it in your ear and recite it back.
Welcome to the 8-Bit Orchestra.
Man, when Doug Bowser hears this, he's gonna sue us so fucking hard.
I mean, we'll just put like 5 seconds of it. Bub, 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 bub. That's it.
What's your favourite 8-bit tune?
Oh, I've got it.
Go. Sing it.
Now go on, Josh.
You go.
Josh, you go first.
Mine's is just the Mario one, man. That's the only one that immediately springs to mind, but the old one.
That one? Or...
No, like the... You know, like... That hang.
Oh, yeah. Mine has
That
got to
one,
be...
that's...
In the beginning of Sonic Advance 3, the intro comes in and he's like, Sonic Advance 3! Tune.
What about you, Sam? What's your favourite 8-boot?
Oh, it's got to be the Zelda theme tune. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with Route 1. Route 1 on Pokemon.
Punching Pidgeys on the way.
I'm gonna stop.
Going on from that, while we're on the topic of like the music of games, like we've said, favourite 8-bit. What, in your opinion, would you say is just the best song or a piece of music you've ever heard in a video game?
Probably,
just while I'm thinking of it.
Probably Zelda, actually.
You're wrong, but okay.
I like the Elder Scrolls.
I don't know what mine is. Adam, what's your answer?
My answer is Wii Music. Beep ba bee, beep ba beep boo, beep ba dee, beep ba. In Wii Music, you can make like a band, and you can get you can make like an a cappella choir, and we would do I'll be there.
I thought you were gonna say Me Plaza, the Me Plaza music.
You're slightly less wrong than JJ, but you're still wrong. Sam, what's your favourite?
Oh, I don't know. It might have to be like the theme tune of Assassin's Creed. That is always good. That is always a good one.
Oh, nice.
Close,
like
but still wrong. The correct answer is Sonic rolling around at the speed of sound. That's the best piece of video game music that's ever been made.
Do you not know the words? Bro, call yourself a gamer, honestly.
I do know the words. I just didn't want to. I just wanted to see if you knew the words.
Very good. So we've digressed ever so slightly. Should we head back to the topic at hand?
Oh, yeah.
Indie Game Book Club.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were doing that. Sure.
Sam, just as a by the way, we don't know how Adam actually manages to edit this into real content.
Hence why I tried to make it easier by changing the formatting of recording, but we all said no, so we'll keep with this for a couple more weeks.
Actually, I didn't see the message until 5 minutes ago.
That's okay. This gets the snap, so...
I don't deal well with change, so if you want something to change, you need to tell me like a long time in advance.
Well, stop asking for a referendum then.
Stop oppressing my country then.
Who's gonna start? I'll start. Okay.
Sorry.
So this week, the game I'm bringing along to Indie Game Book Club is a game by Nomad Studios, Grease. Ooh.
Lightning.
Grease Lightning. This is a Spanish game that came out in 2019. It's a platformer that is almost done entirely in like watercolor sort of like style. It's absolutely beautiful. It is. I cannot describe how beautiful this game is. It's mesmerizing to look at. Okay, you're gonna say something. What are you gonna say?
Nothing.
Why don't you marry it then?
There we go. So just to bring us back down to the levels, Grease is about grief. It's about the 5 stages of grief, and this lady's lost something. She's lost someone.
Like Rhyme.
Yes, like Rhyme. And you go through the 5 stages, and it starts off completely monochrome. It starts off black and white and grey, which is Grease. And then as you go through each stage and she overcomes the next level of her grief, you gain a colour. So first of all, you gain red back after she's gone through anger. Then you gain green back after she's gone through something. and then you gain blue back when you go through depression, and each stage you go through, you get more colours back until at the end she's overcome this grief.
That's pretty nice. I like that.
It sounds a little bit like Hue. Have you played?
Yes,
Hue?
yes, it's very similar to that. It's similar to that.
Yeah.
Hugh?
Hugh? I got an Uncle Hugh.
It's also kind of like Splatoon.
Yeah, it's very much like Splatoon.
Is it?
This game is so similar like Splatoon that the first thing you do, the only thing you can do is press X, and X is to fall over and cry, full on, so grief stricken that you. The only
It's
thing you
so
do is fall
fucking
over and cry.
depressing.
Yeah.
It
That's
is,
so depressing.
because you go through it all and you help her overcome it, and you make friends along the way, and they help you, and your brain is fighting back. It wants to keep you in this depressive state, but you're trying to push through. Eventually, once you do it, you actually feel like you've gone through the journey with her. It's honestly, it's absolutely beautiful game. It's only 3 hours long, but give it a go.
There are a lot of indie games themed around like the struggle with depression and stuff like that. Like Celeste is another one.
Yeah.
I think it's because you can't get 70 hours out of depression.
Yeah.
Really, can you?
It's also that thing of it's. Oh no, on you go.
I was just gonna say, I think interactivity actually makes it almost easier to grasp. Like a lot of films throw a lot of context and a lot of information at you really quickly, but you being able to play something makes it almost easier to put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Well, that's it.
Because technically it is you. You're moving. You're putting in the inputs and everything.
Yes,
definitely. I think it's also one of those things that's like very universal. Like everyone will have had an instance of it, but it's also because it's like it's a mental kind of thing. So it's like not subjective, but there's a variety in how people's feelings react to those kind of emotions and what that can be. And so I think doing that in a creative way, like through a game, it's a very artistic way to express that. And as you said, people can actually like experience it by interactivity.
Yeah,
exactly.
Everybody, I love. I think video games is the best form of like, it's the most accessible form of like artist expression for me. I think it's easier to pick up.
It's definitely the most interactive.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what I love about them in general.
Yeah, this game does it extremely well because the game is constantly, you're inside her sort of like mental state, you're inside her subconscious, and the game is constantly fighting against itself. So you feel like she's trying to push through, but then her own subconscious is also being detrimental towards that and pulling her back. And sometimes it balances it out really well. In fact, a lot of the sort of puzzles are sort of scale based as well. So you're sort of weighing up, do I get rid of this? Do I get rid of that? If I get rid of this could go up, but then I lose that. So it's constantly deciding which is sort of the best way to work through your grief.
So it's a resource management as well, but with emotions.
kind of. It's just really beautiful, and you collect you resource managing your emotions. You collect like stars, and you have to build like a constellation to eventually reach your escape. Almost, it's get it. It's cheap. It's really good. It won loads of awards last year.
How much is it? Is it on the Switch? What's it on?
It's on PS4.
Oh right, okay. I might look that up.
It's excellent.
Something I tend to find with a lot of indie games, a lot of them are very metaphoric, and I don't know whether if that's to do with budget. Do you think that actually comes down to budget, whereas you can't make things in a literal sense because they don't have the budget to do it, so they need to make a story that's more metaphoric? Sam's nodding his head. Sam looks like he has an opinion on this.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'd say like, especially when the budget is small, but if you want to get your game known, it's making that either story or gameplay that just sort of shines out of the most, like out of the other ones. Because I know the last time you had this podcast with the indie book club, you said about rhyme, and that sounds very similar to was it Gris or Grice or
Greece?
It's really cool.
Yeah,
Gris.
And also I think it's another thing, like big corporations, they're catering for a massive pool of people, and they want to make as much money out of it as possible. And whereas more of an indie one is potentially more like going to see a fringe bit of theatre Do you know what I mean?
It's like
it's more personal.
so,
it's more personal to the creators because there's less people involved, and it's more personal possibly to the audience because it's made for them rather than made for everyone it needs to be made for.
If I was to make a statement here, would you all agree with it that generally your big budget games focus a lot on escapism and indie games focus a lot more on internal reflection?
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say that's mostly
generally
true.
speaking.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'd say
it's a
that's mostly
generalisation,
true.
potentially.
As a generalisation.
Yeah, I'd say it was mostly
I'd say the way they're going now, though, the big corporations are going more for microtransactions and online play and
don't like that.
Fucking EA.
Well, if you see the top games at the moment, is Among Us, Fortnite. What else? You got Warzone.
Yeah.
But the one that's played the most at the moment seems to be Among Us, which is an indie game.
because everyone plays
Which is
it.
insane.
Love Among Us.
I love that.
Yeah, anyone can play Among Us. I think that's what's so good about it.
It's got that accessibility factor, hasn't it?
Except for when you're trying to rewire and you spend a little bit too long there and somebody's like, bit sus, and I'm like, no, it's just not, my touchscreen's not working properly.
I was just making a sandwich.
I was just making a sandwich.
My favourite thing to do, and I think I've said it before, is to start a lobby.
I think a lot of things with a lot of indie developers. Sam, am I right in saying that a lot of them are from bigger corporations, but make a certain amount of money and then get a small team together? Is that right?
Yeah, it seems that the majority of people who go into indie development have had background experiences in the industry.
Yeah.
Like we had people come from King, which are the people who do Candy Crush. They came and visited last year.
Oh, yeah?
And basically they've gone on to do indie game stuff, just as like solo projects. But it's interesting.
JJ just gagged at the sound of Candy Crush, but
I
we'll
did.
ignore that.
I've never played it.
Good lad.
I thought his dad was visiting. I thought that's what the gag was.
Wee.
Great. It's a sexual dad joke yet again.
It's my one per episode.
You know what? I wish I was gagging on your dad, but he's not as well equipped.
My dad listens to this, so.
Hi, Josh's dad.
Sorry, Mr. Aiken.
Sorry, Mr. Aiken.
Sorry, Mr. Aiken. Please don't beat me up.
Who would like to talk about their indie game next?
The second brother, Claydon.
Let's go for it. I got this game last year called My Friend Pedro, and it's made by one person, Dead Toast Entertainment, and basically you play as a guy who has two pistols, 2D game, and you just sort of shoot everyone, and your guide is a banana, and you basically follow this banana's every command, going through each level, slow motion, jumping, parkour, shooting everyone. It's a very, very strange game.
Is it like Hotline Miami?
Very weird game. It's similar, actually.
Is it?
Similar to that sort of game.
Okay.
I've played that one. That's really good as well.
Class.
So is it a platformer then?
It originated. Do you ever play Miniclip?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Of course we did.
Yeah. So this game originated as a Flash game. It was made by Adult Swim, and they sort of partnered to make a Flash game.
Yeah.
And it's essentially, they took that and then made it into a game where you play with a banana.
So is it like
There's a few games like
is
that.
it a top down shooter, or is it like
so it's a side 2D game where you just, it's like 2.5D, so you're 3D in a, it's like a side-scrolling game. But yeah.
Oh, sick.
So you just kill anyone? Is it like No Russian?
Literally, you just kill everyone.
Wow. Like No Russian.
I mean, the banana's telling you to do it, but yeah, it's like No Russian.
Now, spoiler alert, can you kill the banana?
I don't want to spoil it.
Oh no! Don't tell us whether you can kill the banana or not.
No.
That's probably like a huge integral plot point.
There's one level in the game where you ride a motorbike, and it's amazing. It's really, really good.
Oh man,
is it?
And what platforms is it on? Is it on Switch?
It's on Switch.
Yes!
And
Yes!
I want to say PC.
Sorry, I love it when games are on Switch.
It's on Switch.
Why is that?
Because I want to build it up more. I want to build up my Switch library.
From looking at videos of it, the way the character moves and the controls and stuff, it looks very Deadpoolish. Your guy, like the way he's jumped about with the two pistols, like there's got that vibe to it.
It's kind of got that like Gorillaz vibe as well. from like the band The Gorillaz.
Yeah, I was so confused there. I was like, gorillas, like the fucking animal.
Yeah.
I suppose there's a banana.
Yeah, it's true. What a stupid joke. What have they made? Any other games? This company?
It's one guy. It's literally one guy, and he's done very well. It basically, I think the game he did in the past was the Flash version of this game, and it was still called My Friend Pedro, but it was like a 2D game.
Yeah.
But yeah, when this one came out, there's like so much traction on it. It was really cool because it was the same sort of time as like DLC for Shovel Knight was coming out, so it's like. It seems like Switch is sort of really pushing indie games, which is really cool.
Yeah, it is really nice.
They are, but they're just expensive.
Not all of them, man. They have a lot. They have a lot of sales on, for indie games in particular. I can't believe Hollow Knight is something like £10, right? And Rime is something like 30 on the Switch.
Yeah, but Hollow Knight's now free on PS4.
Yeah,
I know.
it's free on PS4.
Yeah, but Hollow Knight's been a tenner for ages on the Switch, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, to be fair. I play it on the Switch, though. Have you got any other indie games you can recommend other people that might be quite obscure?
Oh, there was a really cool game called Katana Zero, and you basically play as a thief from the perspective of the security cameras. So you basically have a mission, and you do the mission. If you get shot once or die, it just rewinds to the start of that security camera.
Yeah.
And basically, it's really clever because it's like you use your katana to sort of ricochet bullets back at people, but it's like a 2D pixel art game, and it's.
Oh, so you are controlling the person. I thought you were saying you're controlling the security camera.
Yeah. No, but you're from the perspective of the security camera. So
that's so weird.
Sort of,
That's
I like
pretty
that.
cool.
I like games that like flip stuff on its head, like
So,
do you remember that Steam game where you like you have to like clean up a murder scene and shit?
yeah, I remember that.
I was just like, who decided? Do you know what? Somebody must have been playing a shooter, right? And they go, God, this is a lot of blood and gore.
Who cleans
Imagine
this
if you
up?
were the cleaner.
It's those people who will go on to make millions, though, eventually.
Oh, 100%.
It's those people.
So Sam, as you were saying, was it Dead Toast that made that? Yeah, the developer of that, Dead Toast.
Yeah, Dead Toast. Yeah.
So you're saying that's like one guy. How, from your experience personally, how difficult and how time consuming would that be as a single person to create a game of that
caliber,
quality?
Of that. Yeah, they would definitely take years out of your life. I want to say that game would probably take because it was just. He must have had some help with music and stuff, but the actual core game itself must have taken about 5 years.
Oof.
Jesus, is it a long game?
What? I'm trying to think. Like, if he had everything together within the game, actually playing it itself is probably like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours long, the actual gameplay. But yeah, it would have taken quite a while for him to do it. But we have this thing called modular, where basically you make kits and you can just take bits and reuse them in games. Basically.
Oh, is that like like the creation engine, like Bethesda and all that?
Yeah. Basically, you all of the, like, say if there's a box you can hit or a person that's there, they're all assets.
Yeah. And
modular is basically making those assets reusable in other places of the game. So it's a little bit less time consuming to create.
Okay.
Almost like where Pixar reused the same sort of designs for the toys and stuff and reimplant them into different.
Almost like a copy and paste type thing. Some would say, to simplify.
Yeah. But you try and hide it. Hide the copy and paste as best you can.
Oh, nice.
Imagine how much time it would take if every single box in a game was different and unique. Imagine how long it would take them and no one would even appreciate it.
Yeah, they literally
I was going to say, no one would appreciate that.
No one would care.
No.
All they'd do is, man, that game's been delayed again. Fuck you. That's all they'd say.
Man.
Oh,
and Cyberpunk is sitting there like, but every single lift button's different.
Don't. Oh.
Every taxi man's got a different mustache or something like that.
Every taxi man has his own family that he goes home to.
And each have their own eating patterns.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man. But yeah, I get that. It's quite interesting to hear like the creation side rather than just our incoherent ramblings about games.
Yeah.
Most things, I don't know about you two, but that I say during this is mostly just speculation. I don't do a lot of research, so most things I say are just wild claims.
Do you not?
Most things I say are wild claims.
Yeah.
I don't know about you two. I assume that yours are just wild claims, but
I mean,
so it's nice to hear.
I'm pretty up to date on like gaming news and stuff. I do follow quite a lot of like stuff like that. I'm just saying. It's probably nothing to be proud of. Proper geek, like. I mean, while I'm not lifting weights.
What gym? Can't even get in.
Ha!
Yeah, not right now.
Lift heavy stone, make sad head voice go away.
Who would like to talk about that game next?
I mean, Josh has played his game for 5 minutes, so
I'll probably talk about mine that way. Like then when JJ talks about his at the end, it takes up a bigger bulk. I don't know. I feel like mine. I feel like I can make this segment longer than it naturally should be. So here we go.
Okay, baby. Woo!
So on what day is it today? What day is this?
Today is Tuesday.
So on like Sunday, I was like, fuck man, I should probably play an indie game. So I downloaded a game from the store called Anodyne. Does anyone know this game, Anodyne?
I've heard of it.
Essentially, it's like an 8-bit kind of dungeon crawler type thing. Very reminiscent of older Zelda games, like you're right old, like 8-bit kind of old Zelda games where you're just through dungeons, just finding keys to then go to the next bit, and you're kind of backtracking and shit like that.
Right.
The whole premise of it is you're this, you just randomly wake up in this random kind of like interdimensional plane type place. You're just called young. So like I think the premise behind that is you're not a guy or a girl. You're just like it's like young man or young woman, but it just doesn't say it. It just says young. How are you, young ? And it's this dude basically just saying there's a great evil awakened. You have to stop it, and you get like no information other than that. I played it for like half an hour. It was really hard.
So I gave up.
It's really hard. According to the bio of it, it's to do with your inside your own subconscious. However, I didn't really get to any point in the game where I saw any evidence of that. However, you do fight. Your weapon is like a broom, which is quite a cool mechanic because there's like areas of obstacles. There's puzzles you need to get past by sweeping up bits of dust and then using the dust to kind of block things and stuff like that, which is quite cool.
I like that.
But the main point that I took from the game, and I'm seeing it a lot in a lot of kind of indie game writing of recently, is this kind of sense of self-awareness.
Yeah.
Like within the writing, there's a very sense of...
It knows what it's doing.
Well, that's the thing of, for example, there's a bit, you read a sign at the beginning saying, basically saying like, oh, press X to talk to people.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you go back and talk to people, they'll have something different to say. And if you leave that sign and come back and press X again straight after, it says, except for signs don't say anything different.
Oh, nice.
Shit like that.
Oh, Magica,
like
Magica has that kind of like sense of humour. I like that.
Like that kind of thing, and this game is like riddled with it. Like if you keep pestering like the same person, eventually they'll be like, come on man, progress with the game. Like in those words, basically, like get on with it. And it's very reminiscent of, it made me think of Undertale quite a bit actually. Just the way that the people talk and the way that the game's framed and things like that.
Yeah.
Has anyone played Undertale?
Yes, I've played Undertale. Oh, dude, get it. It's good. It's dead cheap.
It's a good game.
Good game, man.
I'll get it. Fine, I'll get it.
It's weird.
What's it about?
Do your first playthrough. Don't kill anything.
Just play it.
Just play it though.
Don't kill anyone.
Yeah. Just play it though.
Okay.
Just play it.
I'll just play. Thank you.
And then play it again. And then play it again. I think you only need to play it 3 times to get it.
That's okay. Because Josh, that was so informative. Do you want to just tell us very briefly about your Ghost of Tsushima triumph?
Oh, yes.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot to talk about that last time. I platinumed Ghost of Tsushima. That was fun. I platinumed it, got really sweaty one day, platinumed it, and then like an hour later traded it in because I was like, well, I'm done with this now. I don't fuck around with New Game Plus.
The multiplayer stuff has just come out, isn't it?
I know, but who am I playing that with? It's like online co-op.
You can play it with Dom.
Dom.
I would have loved to play it with Dom, and Dom actually messaged me just talking about Ghost of Tsushima like 2 days ago.
There you go.
But I'd already traded it, so it was too late.
Oh.
How upset do you reckon Dom's going to be that he hasn't been invited on this podcast first?
Yeah, but that's the charm. He's elusive.
I'm sorry, Dom.
What a
I hope it has like a Judas-like moment where it debates turning us into the officials for plagiarising half of our shit.
He goes directly to
dear.
Nintendo and says, "Look, they use your music 5 times in one episode."
He starts the Bro You Have Not podcast.
It just debunks everything that we say.
You know, there's that we'll have our intro of the whole "Hello, it's me, Dom." They're all gone.
I'm gonna debunk everything.
They're all gone. But I'm here.
There is no Bro You Haven't, only Dom.
Oh my god. So Josh, is it what is it a linear game then? Is it like levels you go through, or is
so
it
it's like linear, but it's that kind of. It's like I'm trying to think of an example. It's like that kind of way of the map has that appearance of being open. So like you start in like an area that's kind of like
it's a
it's a
Metroid
hub world.
Yeah, it's a Metroid Castlevania kind of game. Metroidvania.
Yeah, it's like a Metroid type thing. So like the one that you need to go into one place and find like a key to then get to another place of that to open another bit to unlock the ability to get to this other bit, and then you backtrack back to go to that bit.
You get the
like that kind of thing.
you get the supercharged shot, so you can blast through that wall that has arrows on it or something.
Yeah, that kind of vibe. Yeah, it's all right, man. I'd recommend playing it if you have more patience than I do. But if I'm not immediately fucking. If a game doesn't grasp me within like 20 minutes, I'm so spoiled by like fucking big AAA titles with exciting fucking set pieces and shit. If a game doesn't like make me feel like a fucking like action hero within the first hour, then I'm gone, man.
Yeah, he couldn't get into Horizon.
No, I couldn't get into it, man. Couldn't get into it.
You'll have to try it again.
You know, with Horizon it was different because with Horizon Zero Dawn there was just fucking too much going on the screen too early in the game, and it was like sensory overload for me. I was like, no.
You're in a forest and there's robot dinosaurs. That's it.
Robot dinosaurs. There's robot dinosaurs.
That's it.
This is fucking too much for me to process right now. I could probably play it now if I went back to it, but I traded it, so...
Please do, so we can talk about it.
We can talk about it if you want.
We should talk about it. It's a great game.
Moonraker.
Not Moonraker.
As in the James Bond movie.
With the lasers.
Moonlighter.
Moonlighter is my game this week. Moonlighter. It is developed by Digital Sun, who is a Spanish indie game company. I think this is the only game they've done, from the looks of it. But a few weeks ago, we were talking about Skyrim, and me and Adam were saying that, if Adam could be in the game and just have, like, own a shop or something like that, he'd love it.
Yeah, I want to be a shopkeeper.
Well, your prayers might have been answered. Moonlighter is a roguelike. Sam, do you want to say what a roguelike is to the boys?
Automatically generated, and I've never played Moonlighter, but I saw the trailer. I remember the trailer, and I vividly remember the art style of the cover was. Oh, so
mate,
cool.
It's 8-bit, but it's really like fluid. It's really strange. Like, but it is a beautiful game. They got amazing use of colours.
That's like my semen, 8-bit but really fluid.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
No, he wasn't either when it came out.
Oh hi.
You need to take a lunch with you tomorrow.
What? I'm recording just now.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no. My mum was there, so that was fun.
What? 2 seconds after the cum exploded out.
Right?
Your mum walks in. Mum, it's not what it looks like.
Legit. That's yeah.
Half naked with 3 boys on the internet.
He's literally. He wrapped himself up as she walked in.
So you start the game, and there is one dungeon that you're going through, and you go through this dungeon, and it's called the Golem Dungeon. And in the beginning of the game, you do the classic thing of your character gets struck down. He wakes up in the middle of the town, and his granddad's berating him, saying, "Hey man, what are you doing this adventuring thing for? You should be running the shop." Cut to the next day. What we doing? We're running the shop. But all the items from the shop that are being sold are all from the first floor of the first dungeon. So everything you collect in a dungeon, you don't keep for yourself, you put on display, and you have to run that store with the in-game time. So you essentially have to balance dungeoneering and shop running at the same time. And it is one of the most satisfying games. It's really easy just to get lost and kind of just repeat the same thing over and over. If you're one of those people who likes like a routine, this is an amazing game for you. But basically, every time you go in a dungeon, that dungeon has like a final boss that you have to get to with 2 main bosses before it.
Okay.
And the combat is amazing. You have frames of invincibility when you roll. So when you dodge, you essentially don't get hit. And you have a multiple choice of weapons. There's armor progression. It's really a fantastic dungeon game alone, and you get to run your shop at the same time, which is amazing because there's stuff like thieves. You get your shop assistant at one point if your shop gets big enough.
There's thieves.
There's thieves. Yeah, who come into your shop. I know. And it's
fucking rogues.
And it's all designed like the old kind of dungeon crawler games, like the original Zeldas and stuff like that.
Cool.
With randomly generated areas. And the ending, which I've just got to about an hour ago, was mental. I was like, whoa. It's a pretty
you sold
big.
It. I want to give it a go now.
Mate, it's so good. It's a really big
I have a
twist.
question.
Yeah, go for it.
So, right, you're saying your granddad's does the shop sell anything other than what you find in the dungeon?
It only sells... So, you went further in the dungeon than what you were supposed to. You're not supposed to...
Okay.
He said you shouldn't have got to the golem, essentially. He said you went too far. You should have turned back.
I understand, because I was like, how does this guy expect you to run this shop if he doesn't want you going into this dungeon looking for the only things that you sell in the shop?
Well,
but you've explained it, so it's cool.
There's a bit of story in the trailer where it was your character's dad. This kid's called Will, as in willpower, get through it, because it's all about progression, and as a roguelikes can be really frustrating.
Super gay.
but in the trailer you can see like your dad's like heart failing and stuff like that because he keeps going in and out of the dungeon and he fucks himself over. So that's why your granddad is like, that's why he tells you not to go too far.
I'm getting it. Is it on Switch?
It's on Switch. It was on sale when I got it. I got it for something like £6. It's really good.
Has anyone ever played Dead Cells?
Yes.
I nearly downloaded that the other day for this episode, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Looks good
it's
though.
amazing.
It has the kind of
it.
that kind of design of Dead Cells, like the kind of 8-bit but not quite 8-bit kind of thing. It's really good.
The like regenerated sort of Game Boy game look. That like when you play Link to
like
the Past
a fresh
on
Game Boy game.
Yeah, like you play Link to the Past on Switch, and it's all like shiny and new and
Yeah. But like,
kind of.
Yeah, like your armor can has like flowing bits on it and stuff like that. It's very cool.
Sick, love it.
Oh mate, it was so good. I'm getting the DLC as soon as I get paid.
Yes, yay, paid.
Yay.
Well, as soon as we can actually go out and work in real places.
Yeah, jeez. Oh my god, yeah.
Are you guys still locked down?
Yeah,
yeah.
For the rest of the year, it looks like.
I'm more than locked down, mate. I'm isolating because the NHS has told me to.
Yeah, you're isolating. I went into town today. I went and got a coffee. Then I went to the gym. It's great up here.
I think you need to go to the gym a few more times, mate.
Fuck you, JJ.
So, what are we excited for? Valhalla came out today.
Yeah,
Did
that's
it?
exciting.
Yeah, it came out today.
I reckon they're gonna do something right with this one because Odyssey's
Apparently, all the
something.
reviews are great.
All the reviews are great. They say it's quite buggy, but apparently it's just
That's just a Ubisoft game.
That's hi Ubisoft.
I give it 2 months and like that'll be mostly patched. Well, they'll be big. I reckon within the first month there's got to be like a huge patch anyway. They always fucking do that.
100%.
Since they like rebooted it, it seems like from Origins they've done like a new gameplay of how you play Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
It seems like they were refining it in Odyssey, but it seems like they've got it right in.
Yeah, that's what
Valhalla.
that's what I feel with Odyssey. Odyssey, I also, other than the cultists, I just completed today.
Oh, it's so good.
I've just started the cultists today. So we might be on a similar place next week.
We're gonna talk about this next week, but overall, Odyssey has left me conflicted. Yeah, I just don't know.
Oh, I want to hear about the battles in it. I like a big scale battle in games with a lot of kind of people fucking around. I like that.
Yeah. Oh, mate, the amount of
Carnage
character models they can have on screen at a time is freaking mental.
Yeah, they have those like once you like conquer places. So you're gonna have a Greek one next week, aren't you? Greek pod.
Greek week.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I can't wait.
But yeah, Sam's right. Once you can weaken an area and then you can do like a conquest battle, basically. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're gonna play that intensely and come at you with some Greek mythology next week. I've been watching the Blood of Zeus. Go watch that before next week as well.
I will watch
really
that before
fucking
next
good.
week.
It's really good.
Very, very good.
Is it like Castlevania? It's like Castlevania, yeah. Not as funny.
Did anyone watch the Dragon's Dogma one?
I'm still watching it, don't tell me.
Is it good?
Oh yeah, it's good. It's yeah,
on
it's
Netflix.
Really good. Yeah, Netflix,
Is it?
yeah.
Is it as good as Castlevania though?
Not so far.
Nah.
I haven't seen Castlevania.
Oh, do yourself a favour. Do yourself a favour and watch it, Sam. It's very
It's
good.
really
Fucking
good.
Brilliant. And it just gets better and better and better.
It does.
I'm not a huge kind of like anime kind of style guy, but like I really enjoyed it.
One Punch!
And I think that's us drawing to a close here.
That's all I can say. I've lost my brain. I've been recording all day. I'm done.
Thank you for coming on, Sam.
Man.
Yeah, it was nice to have our first guest.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Anything you want to plug before we finish?
Yeah, go for it. Sam.Claydon on Instagram. That's my daily like gaming devlog.
Yeah,
So yeah,
fun stuff on
check it
there.
out.
A real gaming dev.
Yeah, I make clothing as well. That's all on that thing. So yeah, Sam.Claydon.
Get Sam on the gram.
A quick question, Sam. I know all the listeners at home are wondering.
Are you single?
What's the kind of well, yes, but what's the kind of the expected release date for the bro you haven't game that obviously you're working on right now, obviously.
Oh, I can't disclose it at the moment, but
No problem.
What a ledge.
the Bro You Haven't game sounds like an amazing thing.
I think we'll leave it there. Thank you very much, boys. Nice to see everyone.
Thank you, boys.
And we'll be back next week with some more fun. Thank you very much, Samuel. See you soon.
Sayonara.
Hasta la pasta.
Ciao.
Thank you for listening to the Bro You Haven't podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BroYouHaven'tPod for updates on future episodes and more. If you like this week's episode, you can catch our other episodes on Spotify, Acast, and YouTube. On behalf of myself, Adam, and Josh, have a lovely week.